Hello, welcome. I'm Will, the nerdy nerf herder, and today I thought we'd start off with our first shiny Sunday stream. And I had somebody in the past request that I kind of show off my home living decks that I've started. So we'll start off with that here, just kind of show everybody where I have started from. So this has been a many years in the making, going all the way back to Gen 3. Nope, 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 sorry. I didn't have I had the Shiny Gyarados, which I don't even know if this Shiny Gyarados that I've got in here is from Gen 2 or not, but I did get the Shiny Gyarados in the original Gen 2 games. And then Metacham was my first shiny, and I started with Pearl on the 3DS for Gen 4. So that was my first shiny there. Um, and then that's when I truly started hunting shiny Pokemon after that wild encounter. But yeah, I don't remember if the shiny Gyarados I've got in here, if that's the one that's transferred up from Gen 2 or not. Let's see. It was Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. So I did not transfer that one all the way up. Or if I did, it's not there. I've got it elsewhere in my boxes. But I'm only focusing on the living decks for now, and then we're going to do some Legends EA hunting today for Shiny Sunday. So there's definitely some opportunities um, that are available to me on Pokemon that we can shiny hunt in Legends EA. I just unlocked the ability to do another special scan. So I'm thinking we'll probably do that today. See what that gets us. As we hit to Gen 3. Which again, there's plenty of holes here for me to pick up stuff still. I'm very sad. I'm pretty sure that this is something somebody traded me. Um, my shiny Ninjask got lost. Managed to keep the shiny Ninja, but the Ninjask got lost, which is even sadder because I had built it up to be part of a team. So I think it was one of those times where a game got soft reset before everything got transferred out. Um, Made me very sad. And I have had plenty of shiny fails over the years. And there are some Pokemon from Pokemon Go mixed in here, and that's partially to help fluff up the living decks um, for the shiny living decks. I would love to eventually replace the Pokemon from Pokemon Go. A lot of them I have had or have elsewhere, um, where I'm using them as part of a team, or I'd only gotten one and evolved it all the way. And um, but at the same time, I put in the literal legwork to go get these shiny Pokemon on Pokemon Go. So, like, people can argue whether they're valid or not. My opinion is that if you put in the effort to get the shiny Pokemon, it is perfectly valid. Um, like, we don't argue whether or not going to your local gaming store to pick up a little plaque card with a code on it for a event legendary distribution, um, whether or not it's legitimate in order to be included. It's automatically assumed, oh yeah, you put the effort of going to the store, you got the code, you put it in there, you uploaded it, it's legitimate. Which a lot of my shiny legendaries do come from having done the legwork of going to the stores, picking up the codes. Um, Unfortunately, there are some that I ended up missing, especially in Gen 7. Um, for the anniversary year leading up to Gen 7, I basically ended up burning myself out on Pokemon because I played through every single game, represent or at least one game representative of each region in that year leading up to the release of Sun and Moon. And then I beat Sun and Moon, and then turn around, and then Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon came out, and I'm like, it's the same game, and I ended up getting really burnt out, and I ended up tabling it for a while, and then Sword and Shield came out, and I did it, and I missed out on some legendaries there. So real quick here, this was a momentary pause. So like, this is Legend ZA over here on this side, and there's several Pokemon that I have yet to work in, or don't need to work in over here, but there are a couple that do. Like these two I haven't worked in here yet, which we can go ahead and do that now because I'm hoping that with the special scan today, we might be able to get this one. But that's hopes. But yeah, and then I need to trade these to evolve them, and they'll be ready. But yeah, there's definitely plenty of Pokemon here that we can shiny hunt in Legends ZA. I still need another Hone Edge. Here is one of my all-time favorite shinies, Aegeus Slash. Now, I did enjoy the Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, especially going through a few years later and replaying that game. Um, though I have to admit, the pacing for me, it seems to drag a little bit, and that's coming from somebody who's played old school Final Fantasy games. Um, you get locked into a cutscene or locked into something, and it just takes for seemingly forever to get what you need. So yeah, I definitely have a lot of potential for Galar Pokemon to hunt for. Um, my problem with the Galar Pokemon and trying to hunt for them not in other games um, is just you're basically working off of Shiny Charm odds unless you're doing the Dynamax adventures. And as a person who is often doing them by themselves, the computer AI is not consistent enough making the right decisions on the battles to consistently clear Dynamax adventures all the way through with the selection given. You really need to have at least one other human in there anticipating the correct moves and choosing when to hold off on switching versus going for the switch. Um, so like there's just so many decisions that affect that, and the NPCs are so inconsistent that I have a struggle justifying shiny hunting that way. I've done it. I would like to do more of it. Um, but I really need somebody to kind of help as a team go about it because it's just otherwise it feels way too inconsistent with the reliance on the computer allies to make the right decisions. with the Pokemon that they've got. It's always something stupid like, oh yeah, you just use a move that does absolutely nothing in the circumstances, but boosts all of our defense against a Pokemon that's using only special moves. Like, no, I needed you to attack. Use your one damaging move on this Pokemon. Do not boost our defense. It's not needing a defense boost. So I do have a shiny Archduraludon. It is currently being used in Violet, and there are some Pokemon that I have in Violet that are not included in this. So there is that. Um, but yeah, that is my shiny living dex. And like I said, there are some Pokemon in Violet that I'm still haven't moved over. And there are some in Legend ZA that I haven't moved over. So I have trouble justifying moving over Pokemon that I'm actively wanting to play with um, in those circumstances. Like, yeah, I want to use this Pokemon. Okay. I can use it, or I could put it in my shiny living dex at home where it's just going to sit. So, like for Sword and Shield, I had Pokemon from there in Sword and Shield for so long, where I wasn't actively playing Sword and Shield. Eventually, I finally was like, okay, we're going to go ahead and start moving some of these shinies over. I have Pokemon there I can use to play the game when I want to play the game. Um, so, yeah, we ended up switching over for that. Um, but Scarlet and Violet, I haven't had the will to move stuff over quite yet. It's still a game that I am actively shiny hunting in. And while, yes, I've been playing largely Pokopia, um, the um, and Legends EA has been a obvious dominant game that I've been playing for shiny hunting in since it came out. But I still go back to Scarlet and Violet and shiny hunting that. Using the sandwich method is one of my favorite ways of shiny hunting. So, alrighty. I got Legend ZA loaded up here. So, we've got ourselves a special scan. Let's see. Rust Syndicate Office. So, right now, my current team on me. We've got our shiny Hawlucha, shiny Electros, regular Xerneas, shiny Alpha Swampert, because I love my big boy, and he's dopey. Alpha Houndoom, and then shiny Dragonite. Which I love that they gave Dragonite's Mega the shiny form a blue shade like Dragonair to help kind of tie it back. All right. Yes, let's get scanning. Dragonite's like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with my hands. My millennials will get that, possibly. All right, what's our special scan? All right, so we've got that Mega Evolution. And we've got a Gimme Ghoul. Alrighty. So already, if we pull back up our boxes here, I've got a shiny alpha gimme ghoul that I apparently used my master ball. um, oh, so it was the last. It was the last few moments of the distortion, and an alpha shiny gimme ghoul finally spawned in for me, and I had like seconds to go, and I wasn't even sure if it was going to be able to get through the catching animation with enough time to actually register the catch before it booted me out of the hyperspace. So I threw my one master ball on it and got the alpha gimme ghoul. So I really do not need. Like in theory, I could get another gimme ghoul, and that would make it so that we'll go ahead. We'll travel there. I shouldn't have traveled there. No, we're good. Okay. Ooh, piece of candy. So we'll go ahead and we'll do the scan. So Halucha is my guy for going into these wormholes. All right, what do we got? Here, we'll go ahead. Like, I almost hate to use this donut because of the fact that it's going to guarantee a shiny. And it's going to be a shiny gimme ghoul. Well, I guess I could use one more for the living deck to get the golden go. So, we'll go ahead. We'll do it. We'll go after our shiny gimme ghoul. Part of me's like, I should save that for another time, but so are floating Pokeballs. And this is why I love Halucha for this. Because, like, moves like this and bounce, the fact that flies everywhere. Alrighty. There's our shiny. There's an alpha. But what we can do is we can knock out. Of course. Yes, hit me. You stupid chest. We're going to try and catch. Now. Alright, there's two of our objectives done. And we should probably heal. Oh, helps if I go into the right bag. Hmm. Now we got to get the rest of our mission objectives. So there's our gold shiny ball. And then we'll just kind of go around collecting the other stuff. Because, like, at this moment in time, we've got ourselves a shiny Gimme Ghoul. I've got the regular Gimme Ghoul already in the living deck. I need one more golden go. So we're really after these Gimme Ghoul coins and what's in the balls. Now we have plenty of time here where if I wanted to, we could soft reset the world and get more of the shiny Gimme Ghouls, but I really just don't feel like I need that. Now these Mega Shards, I don't think I have Max on at the moment. I hope I don't have Max on, because that would be a bummer if I'm running around collecting them and don't have. So yeah, I definitely need more Gimme Ghoul coins. Okay, so we're still okay on Mega Shards. Alrighty, I can't remember if I've gotten everything yet in the game for those, since the DLC added more options. But I've done a real deep dive into Pokopia. I've got well over 400 hours in there working on my Pallet Town and the storyline and whatnot. Of course, lately it doesn't help that time gets inflated a little bit. So either way, that helps us earn more towards that next scan. So what else can we hunt? Esper. So not looking at that. I could use a shiny Rakeson, I believe. But I'm good on Malamar. Let's see. I wish I could get Scizor to spawn in. That's a normal type zone. I don't technically need a Pidgey or a Diggersby or a Bunnelby or any of that. But if we can get this one here and this one here, so I can get that in DD. Which I don't even know if I have a normal shiny donut. Let's see what I've got. We'll look at our donut tab. So we've got Sparkling Power Rock, Fighting, Grass, Psychic, Steel. So I want to say Fighting and Steel. Let's make a couple of donuts real quick. Maybe, just maybe, we'll get lucky. And we'll get a dark or a normal type. Or an all. I wouldn't mind an all. Alrighty. So I've kind of hit this point in the game where it's more about hitting, just making donuts. I don't care about resetting. We just need to make donuts. I realize that some people are like, oh, but your best berry combination is important. And I get that. I really do. But is it really that important? Resetting and resetting and resetting. And I don't think it is. Rather than do that, I would much rather make a few donuts, and that way we can keep moving on, constantly resetting to get the perfect donut. It's just not a big deal. Make a different donut. We'll do that. In the wrong section. I gotta remember, I gotta go up. We'll do that. Yeah, we'll toss in that. There we go. Make our donut. And this one we'll make a few of, and then we'll jump into a wormhole. Alright. More sparkling power rock. Alpha power, sparkling power bug. Sparkling power fairy. Sparkling power normal. There we go. Alright. Now let's go after that wormhole. So I know I could have used a different sparkling power. However, I feel like using the normal will optimize what we get. And while, yeah, I don't necessarily need a Diggersby or um, a Bunnelby or even really a Pidgey. Having a Pidgey in this game or a Pidgeot wouldn't be a horrible thing. But all right, there's our sparkling normal power. Let's go for it. But getting this in DD would be nice. It's a small wormhole, so there's reason to believe that we should be able to pull it off. Typically, what I'll do first is I'll do an initial run through. What's our missions? We got catch and DD. We've got catch 3 Pokemon undetected and destroy Pokeballs. So, I hate this map with how it auto maps certain things sometimes. So we need to catch a Pokemon undetected. We also need to get away from this Pidgey. Really, Pidgey? Okay. So we're going to go after the Pokeballs. We'll get our other missions accomplished. Again, this is why I love having Halucha as my like run around Pokemon. Just drop right in on stuff. Alrighty. So somewhere is another Pokeball. Ah, there. We'll go ahead and get these out of the way. Alrighty. Now we'll pull in our grabber Pokemon. And then Warp. So we've got Indeedee right there. Which I don't even remember what shiny Indeedee looks like, but that's a male and a female. So from here, he is to travel and not accidentally leave the space. We've got all other mission objectives complete. So if we keep doing this, we should hopefully get our shiny. And then we'll catch the shiny Indeedee. And that'll get us our final mission objective, get us our golden ball, and a little bit closer to that next special scan. The small wormholes are the easiest to soft reset the world for shiny hunting because pretty much everything spawns in. But they are slightly more boring. There is kind of that thrill of running around and spawning stuff out and spawning stuff in that you get from the medium or the large ones. But the small ones deliver more consistently if you're targeting a specific Pokemon, I feel. And where we have a level 2 sandwich, it's still not as ideal. Which, let's see here. Doesn't look like we've had anything spawn in yet. But the time you spend in the menu doesn't really count against your clock. So if you're quick to shuffle through, you can do quite a fair number of these resets. Big Bird. Then you really want to just kind of keep cycling through. Which is part of the reason why I like sandwich hunting as well. But I really want to, since I just unlocked that special scan, I really wanted to go ahead and do one of those. So I gave that a shot. We got that shiny Gimmighoul, which we should probably put him with the rest of our actual shinies. So pop him down right there. In fact, these are shinies, but they're shinies that need to be tweaked. We can put these here. This is a good box for us to be working in for everything. Alright. I don't know if anybody else is like me in this particular about their boxes and wanting to make sure you're running off of a box that's not holding shiny Pokemon in case you need to catch something that's not shiny, or if you like having your shiny box be the only ones because you're only going to catch shinies. I usually like with this game to keep it on my least full box on the line because I know I'm going to have to catch some non shinies in order to get um, the mission objectives done on these wormholes. And I think that makes it a little easier. Go ahead, because I can easily get rid of the Pokemon I need to get rid of from that. Which right now, there's the if you upload your entire uh, Pokedex into home from Legends ZA, including the hyperspace, you can get Shiny Volcanion, which I need. So I've been working on that a little bit. I may be a little bit late to the party on that, but eh. All right. The Shiny Sandwich 3 is definitely a lot faster for the uptake. Normally, I would have something by now. And I mean, it's possible that I have like a Bunnelby over by the scaffolding that direction that's popped up. And I haven't realized it yet. I don't even remember what Shiny NDD looks like. And the fact that we've got a male variant and a female variant. It's like, do I go for the trying to collect one of each variant shiny? Or do I say, okay, one's enough? Like for Tatsugiri, I've got all the forms of it shiny. Now, admittedly, that was partially unintentional in the sense that I hate walking away from shinies, whether I actively need them for my collection or not. Yeah, those shiny tooth sandwiches just aren't as effective. But yeah, I hate walking away from a shiny, even if I don't actively need it for the living decks, or if I don't want it to be able to be like, yeah, I'm going to use this Pokemon. Um, I do have children. They like shiny Pokemon. They are impatient. My son has already taken several shinies that I had on this game. For example, a shiny Charmander line because I happen to get them while hunting other things. You notice we still have plenty of time for that. Part of me is like, I would hope that we're close enough to the Indeedis that the shiny sparkle will trigger when we come load into the world. But I definitely don't want to catch one of them for the mission objectives because that eliminates one of our spawn points for a while. That's why I focus on catching Pidgeys and Bunnelbees for our mission objectives before. Yeah, that removes them from our spawn cycle, but again, they're not ones I necessarily need. Though I admit it'd also be kind of fun if we've got enough people on stream for one of these shiny Sundays. If we get extras of stuff that I don't need for my living decks or don't want for my own personal usage, maybe going ahead and doing a first person to correctly put in the code for a trade gets the shiny or something. Again, I'm surprised we haven't gotten something to pop already. But that's just the thing about it. You've got odds. You're not going to get that perfect, okay, I've hit so many encounters, I'm due a shiny. No, it doesn't work that way. Believe me, I have seen the odds and gone well past them on certain hunts. Like, I'm trying to shiny hunt a Poipole in my 3DS on Ultra Moon because I had one shiny Poipole, but I didn't have shiny Nagadel. So I got the Poipole from, I believe, a GameStop event. But it's kind of hilarious because, like, I didn't realize that Type Null wasn't shiny locked before I got that, and I still need a shiny Type Null and a shiny Savali. So, and those are the only games that you can shiny hunt them in. And you can't shiny hunt them in any other game since Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I needed the not Knuckle Stack, Stack Attacka as well. So I got that. And that one actually got real lucky within like, oh, I don't know, maybe like 30 encounters into the hunt. I was able to get my shiny Stack Attacka out of the one of two spawns that happens. But as a result of not realizing that it was not shiny locked, I I received that gift. I really should have waited on it and shiny hunted it, but it snuck up on me and I didn't save properly. I was so focused on get the Stack Attacka, get the Poipole. Um, and then I found out it wasn't shiny locked, and I'm like, oh. So I gotta finish shiny hunting Poipole. And once I get shiny hunting Poipole, I need to evolve it in the game, put it into, and transfer it up. Then I need to reset the game, go back through the game again, shiny hunt for a Type Null using the soft reset, or the gift, which is full odds, because that's how gift Pokemon work in that game. The shiny charm doesn't matter, full odds, and so I'll have to soft reset for that. But I still need a regular Poipole for my living decks because for some reason I failed to get a standard Poipole on another playthrough and transfer it up. I have the Nagadel from where I got it from my original playthrough on Ultra Sun, which I am an Ultra Sun and Sun fan. I do think Solgaleo is cooler than Lunala. And that being said, like, I can't find my shiny Solgaleo or my shiny Lunala. I swear I had one. Don't know where they're at. Swear I had them. Swear I got them. Went to GameStop, got the codes, brought them home, uploaded them, and but not in my living decks, not in home, not in my games, to the best of my knowledge. So there's definitely Pokemon that I need to shiny hunt in Sword and Shield's Dynamax Raid Adventure still. I just need someone else that's human to help me along with it. So we can bypass the bad AI decisions. Like, genuinely, if it weren't for the fact that it makes bad AI decisions, it would be so much more reliable. But as it is, I think for every 10 playthroughs of that, I will get all the way to the end without being blown out of the arena because one of the idiots boosted our defense rather than attacking to do the final blow um, on the legendary at the end. I can get it about, I'd say about 50% of the time. And then of the 50% of the time that I make it there are a few times, and I would say this is like 25% at most, that I'll be knocked out on the third raid battle and get blown out of the arena because they literally swapped out for the squishiest Pokemon available and then went right into battle and died instantly 3 times in a row to a super effective move. And it's just like, I'm doing my best. It's not my fault the uh, the AI has bad decision making skills for this, and it gets frustrating as a solo player trying to do that hunt with there's no consistency. Now, my most grueling hunt was the Froakie hunt that I did in either X and Y or Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. I can't remember if I had finished the hunt by the time Alpha Sapphire came out and Omega Ruby came out because I was hunting for a hidden ability Froakie. And this was before we had the ability patches to give our Pokemon hidden abilities. If you wanted the hidden ability, you had to breed for it. And when you were breeding for the hidden ability, there was no guarantee you would get the hidden ability. So I was doing Masuda method breeding with the shiny charm in X and Y. And so I had about as good of shiny odds as you can get in that game. And I was getting shiny Froakies left and right. And the other thing that hadn't come out yet were bottle caps. So they had just come out with the ability capsules. And so the ability to change the base ability was great. That was awesome, but we still didn't have the alter your hidden ability or change IVs. That was just not an option for us yet. And as a result, I had to breed for it. With it being a starter, put everything together, got it set up. I had a perfect 6 IVs, um, Ditto, and then I had like a 5 IV Froakie with the IV that was missing being its physical attack. And I had that in there for the breeding. And I went through and I went through and I went through and I went through egg after egg after egg. And I got my first shiny non-hidden ability Froakie right around 800 eggs. And I'm like, okay, double odds, roughly. Not too bad, not too bad. Keep at it, keep at it. Get another shiny Froakie. Again, not hidden ability. Get a third shiny Froakie. This one is hidden ability. However, I go and get its stats appraised, and it has a bottom score for its speed stat. Like, you cannot get any lower on this speed stat. And I'm like, okay, so it's unusable. I have a timid Froakie that would be unusable except as trick room bait for making people think that your Greninja was faster than it was. But that's the level of mind games that I'm like, nobody's going to bother with. Nobody wants a Greninja with the lowest IV in speed. So back to it. I ended up going to about 3,890 eggs after that one before I get on my next shiny. Not 3,800 more eggs in general, but more from that most recent shiny. And by the time I ended up getting my shiny Froakie with hidden ability, with the speed stat being there, and with the special attack stat being there, I think even then it ended up with like, well, hold on a moment. No. Okay. Even then, it ended up being like a grand total of like almost 13,000 eggs that I went through just to get this shiny. It was absolutely ridiculous. And now I've been soft resetting on Ultra Moon for over a year, trying to get this shiny Poiple. And I couldn't tell you how many. I didn't keep track. I'll be honest with you. There were times where I was at a place where I could have a moment and I could do the shiny hunting, and I loaded in and I went right to it. And keeping track was just unreasonable. I am having no luck today. It's funny, I would say, like, if I were to do this off stream, I would end up with a shiny Indeedee so fast. Which, I mean, we already ended up with one, but that was a level 3 sandwich. Or a berry donut. While this one was a level 2. But even so, again, odds don't guarantee success. So we could go over the odds and still not get a shiny. And that's okay. A shiny hunter is patient. Though, I have to admit, ooh, that would be tempting. No, we don't need it. I want the shiny spawn point. Regardless, when we get down to the wire here, we do have to catch an Indeedee of at least one variety, because I have yet to catch one, and I do need to transfer it over for that Volcanion. So, if we don't get our shiny Indeedee on this, we'll at least take an Indeedee, towards our shiny Volcanion, which I haven't even checked how close I am. I know I need to get a Scizor that is native to this game. It's like all my Pokemon that I need to deal with rely on trades. Which, I mean, in theory, I could tell my son, hey, boot up your game. Let's let's do some trading so I can evolve some stuff. And he would be happy to do it. There's the remembering to do it, and when we're not both involved in doing something else. Gender variants get me. Again, it doesn't help that I really cannot remember what shiny Aditi actually looks like. I just know I don't have it. But yeah, I have some stuff I need to basically trade to evolve, and when you're when you're a gamer household, everybody's always in the middle of their own project in their own games. He's busy with his Sonic games or his Mario games or Kirby. My daughter's typically playing Animal Crossing or uh, Stardew Valley. And the wife can go anywhere from Dark Souls, Elden Ring, and Stardew Valley, and various Tales of the Shire. And lately, she's been on an Animal Crossing kick because when she got her Switch 2, she got the Switch 2 version of Animal Crossing. So that way, she can finally play Animal Crossing with our daughter. And she has loved that. I have not gotten into Animal Crossing. Stardew Valley is something that is near and dear to my heart, though. I have put over 1,600 hours into that game between Switch and PC, playing modded versions on there. Um, so, like, I am definitely. And there we go. There is our shiny. That is quite noticeable. All right. Now we go get our bonus ball. Again, I'm shocked we didn't get another shiny in here. Let's fast travel. We'll put in our save. And then we'll go into our boxes and take a look. See, this is why I prefer to be here. And there is our shiny. So that's two shinies this episode. Alrighty. I do not care enough, I think, about the gender differences to worry too much about trying to shiny hunt for a female one. We will do a couple more since we're near the end of our timer anyway. We'll just do a few more just to see if it pops for us. And then we'll go on and hunt something else. Alright. Last world check. We'll do a quick run around. Pick up these Gimme Ghoul coins here. And now we'll head on out. And we'll go hunt something different. So one of the things we have to do for this hunt is we have to lock it into place. We got our shiny. We need to lock it into place. We need to set up a backup save. That way we can't accidentally get rid of it. My favorite place to do that is right here. Ooh, lost balls. We'll heal our Pokemon. And that locks in our backup save here. So that way, even if something happens and like let's say I fail after using our shiny donut to get a Pokemon. Well, everything will be alright. Alrighty. We wanted to take a look around. Alright, we got that one. Technically, we could do a Psychic. And we can do a Fairy, too. You know what? Was that a small? Medium. Okay. We'll fast travel here. We just made a fairy sandwich. I technically still need a Flabébé. Okay, that is our one that we want. I have been out of Lumios long enough that I don't remember where all of our entryways are here. But here we go. So, do we have... I know I need Flabébé. I've got Floette. And I've got... Florges. Do I have a Doc Bun? No. And then let's see. Yeah, let's do this hunt. Another level 2 sandwich, but we'll go with it. Encounter power 2. That's nice, at least. Alright, so use the catch window. Which means we actually have to knock stuff out. Destroy floating Pokeballs, catch wild Pokemon. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and pull out Halucha. We'll explore the base area here. So there's our Doc's Bun, and alright. So I don't need Floette. I don't need Gorgeous. But knocking them out to get our catch window objective is good. All right. Oh, ooh, that's handy. Oh, that gets us two spawn areas for that hunt. We can hunt two groups of puppers for shinies. But what if our rooftops look like? So there's that. Again, this is why I love Halucha. When you're doing stuff like this, every once in a while he glitches when you're using regular moves. So typically, the best thing to use is flying press or bounce because it'll target the top of it. I'm not sure who we're in combat with, but we definitely want to go back up. Where he drops down from above just makes things so much easier. Oh, go away. Alrighty, where's our gold ball? There's our gold ball. Alrighty. Woo, piece of candy. So I think we need to find where that Doxbun group was. So we'll pack in Halucha. We've got all of our mission objectives. So this is that first group, which means if we go around the corner here, Fido, which I forgot to check and see if I have Fido. I know I don't have Doxbun. No, I do not. So we could use not just one, but both. So we need two Fido or two or one Fido and one Doxbun. I have to admit, I like that I can run right up to that enclosure and use it as coverage for checking to see if the shiny's there or not. Which I'm not even quite sure how to tabulate. Like, it used to be pretty easy to tabulate how or measure your shiny hunts by how many encounters you have versus, because like when you're hatching eggs, you know how many eggs you're hatching. Um, if you're doing random encounters on the earlier games where it's not, is that, ah, so we need our save. Get in the ball. Yay! So we got our Fido. And obviously the side art isn't shiny. In fact, to be nicer, we'll do that. Okay, that's going to bug me. They need to be side by side. So yeah, I've got my Raichu Alpha X and my Raichu Alpha Y. Um, yeah, and then these are ones that technically I need to need in home. So yeah, you don't need to be in home anymore. You can go join the rest. Why don't we swap you out with this Gimme Ghoul? Because that Gimme Ghoul needs to evolve. Okay. And again, I failed to get back on my right box. Alrighty. So we got us a shiny already on this zone. It's a lot faster. Now let's see if we can get one more of these shiny Fidos or a shiny Doxbun to join us in here. If we can get one more, that'll knock out the line, and then we can run around like crazy and just see if anything else fun happens. But I feel like it's Floette and Florges or the other, and not actual Flabebe. But I didn't pay attention when we were fighting them. So it could be Flabebe's there. And I just missed it. Feel free to drop in the comments what your favorite shiny hunting method is in Legends ZA or in general. If you prefer to shiny hunt on another game over others. I know some people, they like the harder odds, kind of like how Dark Souls players um, like dying. It builds character. But me, I'm okay with the easier hunts of some of the newer generations that have helped get it below the very large shiny odds of the earlier generations. Which, funnily enough, I had an epic shiny fail um, that I don't know I could have fixed even if I had access. So a friend of mine gave me a hacked console for the 2DS or 3DS, and I was playing Pokemon Crystal on it. And I hadn't even gotten Pokeballs yet. And I encountered a shiny Spinarak, which is a Pokemon that I actually still need for the shiny living decks. So, like, it was a needed shiny. And because of the nature of the console, because he had hacked it to be able to play some games that he couldn't afford, which I do not necessarily condone, and I'm not saying go do that. I don't know if that console, if I could have transferred it out of that game, even if I had Pokeballs to catch it. But either way, I gave that console back to him and a trade for something else. I can't remember. But it would have been nice to have had that shiny spinner, like the one that got away. There's a shiny. Nope. I'm sorry, not shiny. Alpha. Shiny Alpha would be nice. I would like a shiny Alpha. So either way, before the timer runs out, I need to catch a Doxbun or another Fido to evolve into a Doxbun for the Pokedex. Because I believe Fido and Doxbun are among the ones that I need to transfer into. Well, I may not. It did show Fido on the entry point, so we may not need Fido um, be transferred in to home. But I definitely need Doxbun, which, as you saw, it was a shadow when we entered into this wormhole. So I have not received the Pokedex entry, which means I have not transferred one into home. So we definitely want to be able to evolve that. And typically, whenever unless it's a Pokemon I'm really wanting, and this is a more modern change for me, because like at the very beginning, when I first started shiny hunting, I wasn't going for a shiny living dex. It was any shiny I get, great. I'll evolve it, and then I'll try to make it into a competitive version of that Pokemon, only shiny. So that way I can show it off in a battle with my friends. And that was the goal. So if I got a shiny Pokemon, I evolved it. I got uh multiple shiny Sprigatitos, and I had a shiny Meowscarada with hidden ability and a shiny Meowscarada without hidden ability. Um, and slightly different move sets between the two of them that I used in Scarlet and Violet. But as a result of having hatched two shiny Sprigatitos and evolved both of them all the way to the end, I did not have a shiny Sprigatito or a shiny Florgato for my shiny living dex because I hadn't started on or decided that's what I was going to do. It was only when I was updating my living dex for Scarlet and Violet and that I was like, wait a minute. I've got a lot of shiny Pokemon here. Between Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee, Pokemon Go, and all of the things, I had collected quite a number of shinies. I was like, okay, what if I were to set this up like a shiny live index? Let's go for it. And when I realized just how much of it I had completed, I was like, okay, I think this is the thing I'm doing now. I mean, obviously, I used Pokemon Home to fill in the gaps, and then once that was done, there was a lot of stuff that I either didn't need to worry about going back and getting necessarily for the pre-evolutions, where I hadn't evolved them in Home beyond the one I needed, where I was having Candy to be powering stuff up. It's like, oh yeah, I evolved this shiny here. I had two of this base level. I can level it up and evolve it. Hi, Zachary. Welcome to the stream. I apologize if you messaged a little while ago and I'd missed that. Well, we've gotten so far on this hunt, we've got one shiny Fido. So I'd call that winning. I'd like to get one more, but Timer may have a second opinion on that. Mm, nope, still not there. Okay. But yeah, so that's how I ended up deciding to do my shiny living dex was just I'd already gotten so much of it filled out. I don't even remember what shiny Doxbun looks like. We don't get sparkle noises, it didn't happen. And if it's shiny, it'll still be there. I think that's yeah, there we go. So, shiny number 2 for the zone. Rock on. And that is a line complete. Now to OCD, put them back in order. So yeah, there's our evolutionary line. Let's run around and see what else we can find. Like I said, I don't need a floret or floette, but it doesn't look like we have any flabebe. Naturally, I go into a dead end. So we don't have a whole lot of time left on this world. So let's go back up to our rooftops and double check there. Oh, there's a easier way. So if I needed flower variations of Floette and Florges, if I was trying to get all of those, that this would be a handy zone with the number of colors. Speaking of shiny, again, I don't necessarily need the colors there. I'm not trying to. I'm not about the every variation has to be in the Pokedex. I don't need a shiny red flower Florges, a shiny white flower Florges, shiny orange flower Florges. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've got a shiny. Ooh, that is worth it going at dropping off the rooftops for. Well, we could get Flabebe here. Alrighty. So maybe I should get further away. Let's see if they despawn. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be that lucky. It's okay. Because by the time I wander back that way, there won't be enough time to catch. Even if there was a shiny. Will they be? Oh well. We can at least get that Gimme Gold coin. Don't mind me, I'm just running through. As we kill the timer. There we go. So, all in all, a successful hunt. I completed an entire line there with the dock spun. And look at that. We've unlocked another special scan. So let's go find out what that special scan is. Give me one moment here. All right, our special scan, which I want to check. Because I think I want to go back there. Because I think I've got a Scrafty, but not a Scraggy in my collection. I've got Scraggy, but not Scrafty. So, and then I know I've got a Alolan Meowth, but not the Persian. All right. Rust Syndicate. So we can find out what our special scan is going to be. Let's get scanning. Alrighty. Detected via special scan. We'll go there. Nice, convenient. Set up a backup save spot right here. And no missing Pokeballs. And then I'll go see what this scan is. So that gives us our backup save. So that way, if we use the wrong sandwich, it's as simple as loading in for the backup. Since we don't know what this is, we're just going to use this one. It's got Sparkling Power Bug 1. I'm not going to be too upset if we miss out on Sparkling Power Bug 1. But that's our backup scan. This is why we made a backup save. So we're going to go in here with a steel sandwich. Alrighty, so steel sparkling power level 3. This is why we have our backup saves. Because we're shiny hunting Cobalion. What I will end up doing is I'll drop another save once we get to the reset spot. Alrighty. As we run past all the things, because dojo is what we're supposed to be near. Hmm. I would love to pick up a shiny Lucario for this game. All right. Not a shiny. So here is our save point. And that will lock us in with the sandwich here. Now we just kind of run back and forth until it spawns in. Now, I got super lucky on my Verizian hunt in that I was able to get it to spawn in pretty well. I did this for like 30 seconds and then dropped in on it and it was shiny. Like, it was ridiculous. It was like the perfect Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. Toss the Pokeball right at its backside. Got that shiny. Moved on with my life. It was great. I loved it. The hunt went so smoothly. No problems at all. Now, if I recall, Cabalion's horns go green for the shiny. And of course, Lucario is gold. And let's see here. Like, part of me's like, I want to go check up there. No, its fins go green. So those. Like, how do you tell if the shiny Aeron Alpha is actually shiny? It's got red eyes. If you miss the shiny sparkles, what then? The Trekion hunt took a little bit longer. Um, I probably worked at that hunt for several days. But again, like, how do you measure? Do you measure by encounter? When soft, when you can load so many encounters at once, do you measure by time spent doing, trying to get the shiny? Like, what measurement do you really use to accurately reflect how your shiny hunt is going? I feel like timer is the way to go for certain hunts, especially in the modern era when you've got a Switch 2, shiny hunting, and Scarlet and Violet. Like, what do you do? Do you count? Okay, you assume there's going to be like 30 Pokemon spawned in at once, and you go ahead and um, count 30 Pokemon at once, and then reset and count it as another 30, even though, or do you take the time to actually count how many Pokemon actually spawn in that aren't shiny? Like, I know for stuff like Minior, when before the Switch 2 edition, where the game had a limited number that would spawn in, which it looks like we're going to be soft resetting here. We'll just do that, load back in. Because, like, if you had a shiny Minior on the screen, you would have one extra Pokemon beyond the the minimum, right? So, like, Minior that was shiny could not be knocked out, and then you'd have the maximum spawn. And I think it was like 15 Pokemon could spawn in at once, unless there was a shiny. If there was a shiny, a 16th spawn was created. So, if that 16th spawn is guaranteed a shiny, and you count 16 Pokemon on the screen, one of your miniors is a shiny, even though you can't see it until you crack it open. So you just start sending all. You save the game as soon as you count how many load in and count that there's 16 there, and then you start trying to knock them out. Well, with the Switch 2, you can now load in a lot more than what you could for the Switch 1, which means it's a considerably harder. All right. I need to wait. Wait a minute. Wait a darn minute. It's supposed to be orange. How long has this been shiny and I not even realized it? You know what? I'm not even going to save because I think this was shiny when we loaded it in. Oh, now I am legitimately going to go check that because if that was saved and it was already a shiny, I just didn't go enough to trigger it and got confused between the regular shiny. That's too funny. Okay, so looks like I got some time to explore. Let's heal up Halucha real quick. Halucha been putting in the work, which we got him. So we're gonna save, lock it in, and when we get back to the main area, we'll yeah. Oh, oh, hell yeah! Two shinies, one legendary, one Riolu. Let's go. Hi everyone. Don't mind me. I'm just passing through as we explore the world and see what other shinies might pop up. So what I don't get is, oh wait, we have to leave the room. That's right. Okay, let's go on up. Climb some rooftops. Oh, that would have been a fun find. I don't need it, but come on. Yes, the Pokemon I didn't need. But we got them. We got us a shiny Steelix. We got us a shiny Riolu. And we got our shiny Cobalion. That was the most important part. Was the shiny Cobalion. I would have loved to have gotten a shiny Galarian Meowth or Berserker. Um, but so far this stream, This is our shiny count. We got 6 there. 7. 7 shinies in this 2-hour stream, roughly. So, like, I call that a good 2 hours. Alrighty. Now, let's fly back here real quick. Oh, no. Sorry, we need to set our heart save for the backup. Lost Pokeballs, yes. Because my lizard brain still threw the ball when it said it can't be thrown. Alrighty. So Shiny Sunday. 7 shinies on Shiny Sunday. I call that a good day. Alrighty. We are going here. Let's fast travel there and see if that gets us a little better. Oh, I forgot to check and see if we even have a sandwich worth it. So, I do have a fighting type sandwich, but not a dark type sandwich. Let's try making a couple sandwiches. Or not sandwiches. Let me try making a couple of donuts here. And let's see if we can get a dark donut real quick. Let's make some donuts on Sha. Alrighty. We got 20 of you. 11, 25 of you. 18. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then let's go with you. Nope. Let's find another. Ah, there we go. Let's do 2 of that. And that gets us up to 400 on each of them. Let's do this donut. Alrighty. Nada. Yeah, let's go with it. So, what donut do we get this time? Sparkling Power Grass level 3. Let's make a couple more. Sparkling Power Dark level 1. Alrighty. Let's go after. We'll use that Dark Sparkling Power level 1. And we'll see if we can get that in the last few minutes of the stream. See if we can get something here. So we are here. Which means if we go this way, we'll be moving in the right direction. Quick, run through before the alpha attacks. Alrighty. Into the wormhole. We'll do this last wormhole and then we'll call it a day for our shiny Sunday. Oh shoot. So we need to catch 5 wild Pokemon. We need to destroy some brambles. And we need to get some Pokeballs. Again, bounce is so nice. Scrafty, we're running from you. Alright, you're going to be stubborn on me. And see, this is why we like the from the above. We got to find our brambles. Where are they? That's an Alolan Meowth. Will you get us far enough away with the despawn? Well, if you don't, you definitely do. Where are our brambles? Are the brambles on the roof? If I recall, Scrafty's a pretty subtle shiny. It might be one that we have to end up being right on top of before I realize. Hey, that was a shiny. I do not remember exactly what shiny Alolan Meowth looks like, but I do believe it was a darker shade. And of course, right now we're trying to find our brambles. There's brambles. Now to get over to that room. Alrighty. Did I hear a shiny tone? Nope. I did not. Alright. We gotta work our way over to those brambles. Alright, I'm on. Though I have to admit, it would be awesome if we were to come up here and, like, get. Alrighty. As we just keep running, just keep running. Excuse me. Climb up the ladder. I feel like I need to catch something. If for no other reason. So that way we can get our. Not what I intended to do. You know what? Crafty, you'll be our final Pokemon. Now, where's our gold ball? Bounce. There's our gold ball. Well, we at least got some berries. We may not have gotten a shiny, but we got some berries. We got our objective. So that way we get points towards that next special scan. Which I have already gotten all the Swords of Justice. I think that leaves us with just one more that we can shiny hunt. Because I want to say that we're able to shiny hunt two other Pokemon that are legendaries. I could be mistaken though. But I definitely think that us getting 7 shinies for our shiny Sunday stream is a win. And you'll be hard pressed otherwise to convince me. Now, would I have liked to have gotten another shiny here? Yeah. Who wouldn't want another shiny? I just don't see it. Not with the timer being where it's at. Because that would be what we call a shiny fail. Well, thank you for joining me for our Shiny Sunday stream. It is 2:03, so I'm going to jump off here so I can spend some time with my kids and family. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Shiny Sunday. Thank you for joining me here.